If you run a website, a clinic page, a bakery site, a blog for a side business, you have probably watched your traffic from Google fall away over the last 2 years and quietly wondered what you did wrong. Google has an answer for you. It published one on its own blog, and it says clicks to websites are basically fine. 3 separate research teams went and measured whether that is true, using 3 different methods. Here is what they found, and every source is linked in the description so you can read them yourself. Here is the claim, and I want to give it to you in Google's own words, rather than my summary of them. On August 6, 2025, on Google's official blog, Liz Reed, who is a vice president and the head of Google Search, wrote this: Total organic click volume from Google Search to websites has been relatively stable year over year. And then a second line, which matters just as much. We are actually sending slightly more quality clicks to websites than a year ago. 2 claims, 1 post, both from the person who runs search. So what would have to be true for that to hold up? If click volume to websites is stable, then a page sitting at the top of Google on a question where one of those AI summaries appears should be getting roughly the traffic it used to get. That is a testable thing, and here is the useful part. You do not need Google's internal data to test it. You need a large number of searches and a way to count the clicks. 3 different teams have now done exactly that, and none of them work for Google. The first is the Pew Research Center, published July 22, 2025. They took a panel of 900 American adults and watched their actual browsing rather than asking them about it. 68,879 Google searches, 12,500 of which produced an AI summary. Then they counted. When there was no AI summary on the page, people clicked through to a normal search result on 15% of visits. When there was an AI summary, that fell to 8%, close to half. Pew counted one more thing, and this is the number I would ask you to remember. They counted how often people clicked one of the source links inside the AI summary itself, which is the thing Google points at when it says the web is still getting traffic. That happened on 1% of visits, 1 in 100. So on a page where the summary appears, the reader clicks a normal result about half as often as before, and clicks a source inside the summary almost never. Now here is the fair objection, and it is a genuinely good one. That study watched what people did. It did not run an experiment. So maybe the questions that trigger an AI summary are simply the easier questions, the kind nobody was ever going to click through on anyway. That would produce the same gap without the AI summary causing any of it. If somebody raised that with you, they would be right to. It deserves a real answer, and 2 researchers went and got one. Saharsh Agarwal at the Indian School of Business and Ananya at Carnegie Mellon's Heinz College ran a randomized field experiment. They recruited 1,065 American desktop Chrome users, built a custom browser extension, and randomly assigned people to see AI overviews or not between January 7 and February 10 of this year. Random assignment is the thing that turns a correlation into a cause. Same kind of people, same kind of questions, and the only difference between the 2 groups is the overview. Here is their result. Outbound organic clicks fell by 39.8%, and zero-click searches, meaning searches where the person reads the answer and goes nowhere at all, rose by 34.5%. That is not a survey, and it is not a correlation. That is a controlled experiment, posted to the Social Science Research Network in April of this year and revised in June. It answers the objection directly. Third measurement. Different method again. Ahrefs took 300,000 keywords, half with an AI overview and half without, and pulled the average click-through rate for the top-ranking page out of Google's own Search Console data. Put it in plain numbers. In December 2023, out of every 1,000 people who saw that top result, about 73 clicked it. By December 2025, that was 16. 57 fewer people out of every 1,000 on the same position on the page. 3 teams, 3 methods, 1 direction. A browsing panel, a randomized experiment, and a 300,000 keyword dataset, and they land somewhere between 40 and 60% depending on how you measure. So the verdict is this. The claim does not hold the way a normal person would read it. If you read Google's sentence and understood it to mean your site is fine, that reading is wrong, and the drop you have been staring at in your dashboard is real. And now the part that makes this an audit instead of a pile-on, because I think Google's sentence is actually true. Read it one more time. Total organic click volume from Google search to websites. Total. That is across all of search, every query, including the billions of searches where no AI summary appears at all. Google measured the whole ocean and reported that sea level is roughly flat. The researchers measured the one stretch of coast where the overview shows up. Both of those can be true at the same time, and I think they probably both are. Google answered a narrower question than the one everybody was asking, and answered it accurately. The second half of the claim is harder, because Google made up the yardstick. A quality click is defined in that same post as one where the user does not quickly click back. That may well be a sensible way to measure it. The problem is that Google defines it, Google measures it, and Google has never published the number. So there is nothing there to check. That does not make it false. It makes it unfalsifiable, which is a different thing and worth naming out loud. So what do you do with this if you have a website? First, the traffic you lost is not a penalty, and you did not do anything wrong, which is worth hearing if you have spent a year assuming otherwise. Second, go into Google Search Console and put impressions and clicks on the same chart for the last 2 years. If your impressions hold steady or even rise while your clicks fall away underneath them, that is the signature of this exact thing. Your pages are still being shown to people. Fewer of those people are traveling to you because they got the answer before they got to your site. Here is what would change our mind, because we ask the same of everybody else we check. If Google published the quality click number with real history behind it, or broke out click volume on the queries where an AI overview actually appears, this becomes checkable, and we would go and check it. And if those figures showed clicks holding up on overview queries, we would say so on this channel and pin the correction at the top. Until one of those two things is published, the honest position is the one we just landed on. A question before you go. If you run a site, what did your clicks do over the last 2 years while your impressions stayed flat? Put both numbers in the comments. That is real data from the receiving end, and it is exactly the kind we like around here. Every figure in this video came from a named study with a date on it, or from Google's own post, and the full list is the first thing in the description. Google's post, the Pew report, the randomized experiment, and the keyword study. Go and read them yourself. That is not a figure of speech here. It is the deal. A new audit goes up every Monday and Wednesday. One claim checked against the primary document with the arithmetic on screen.